Hey there, hope you guys are doing fine. I'm doing fine, and for today I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff. It's already pre-recorded. We're going to start at the beginning, but before doing that I have two comments. One is of Cat Cows. I am excited to see how the landscaping looks on Friday. The lifeguard thing sounds good. A tropical drink cabana for a thirsty beach guest. Thank you a lot for your idea. And JD says, look great JB, looking forward to Friday's episode. I don't want to talk anymore. Here you guys go. Now, before I'm going to paint all of the trees, I first would like to show you something that I have been doing, because in the last episode we made like a little camp and I was like, you know, I've been a little bit sloppy. I want to spend a little bit more work on it. So as you can see, this part where it has some dirt with it, and now we come up here, you can now see I have made an extra tent. So this one you can imagine is for grown-up. These ones are for the kids. I made the campfire nice with a little bit ashy ground around it, and a little bit here and there some mud, and I also created some vegetation around, a little bit lower right down here and a little bit higher right down there. And at some point it was like, I need to stop adding vegetation because I'm going to paint the trees first. Now I know it's going to be sounding crazy, but I think the best thing to do first is paint all of the trees black. So I know what I have painted afterwards and what I haven't painted. And so, ladies and gentlemen, all of the trees have gone gothic all the way up to the tunnel and the bridge way in the back on the right side. Now it is going to be time for me to take some reference images, choose a few couple of different colors for these trees and give them all a nice little painting. And so, as you can see, all the trees now have many different shades and combinations of colors on them. It took a long time, but I have to be honest, making all the trees black at first made it so much more easier to give them the color afterward. And I have to say, I am pretty happy with this, and or I have a lot of experience for season 2, because there are some things that I'm going to do different. But take a look at this, guys. Look at all of the different shades applied to all of the trees. It is pretty amazing. Now, I could have added also some different colors to the plants, but that is going to be maybe a little bit too crazy. And I applied it all the way up to the back over there. All of the trees that are being here, as in they stay here, have the colors applied. And of course I have not forgotten about these trees right down here at the beach side. Now there is one thing that I'm going to need to keep in mind for placing more and new trees, that I'm going to already apply these colors to certain trees in the editor, and I'm going to from now on only place trees rather than the seeds itself. So these are the examples for the trees that I've been using. The ones here on the right side are the ones for the palm trees, and the ones on the left side are for the higher trees. And I just took everything random, so I didn't apply the trunk and the leaves on one tree, because that would also be too crazy to remember which one is which one. I just randomly applied this stuff to all of the trees. That gives also way more shades. Now the next thing that I would actually like to do is give this guy a way better spot than just right down here near the road. I think I'm just going to dig something out here and then place it a little bit lower, a little bit more logic, and I think I want to make like a bit of a dirt path going that way, just slightly bit, and place some plants and stuff along the way. And not only for that little project, but I'm going to place some plants and a little bit higher trees like these guys right down here. I'm going to give these guys some spots, and I'm going to keep in mind for some nice views. So right down here, I already chopped down a couple of trees because I want to have this open. I'm going to end up placing some higher trees and bushes along the side, so you can keep this view right down here, which also going to count for right down here. I want to make like little pathways of views going toward the ocean, towards the dock, also towards other things. And what I will also do is I'm going to place some planting into this wildlands area, but I'm going to make it a little bit lesser messy, because these animals are trampling stuff. They have made their own pathways, they eat certain leaves and all that good stuff. So it's going to be a little bit more organized rather than just random all over the place. But before doing that, there is something that I would like to do. And that is already make a little blueprint which is going to help me out making some walkways and 3 viewing platforms. Now what I will end up doing is making this dock all the way here and then go up here. And then from this point on you can actually cross the road. Like there is no traffic at all in this island. Most people are just walking, maybe use segways and that kind of stuff. And I would like to make a little wooden stairways going up and then fix some 3 platforms. But in order to know how, where and what, I'm going to need to make like a blueprint so I can exactly figure stuff out. And what I think I have to do, and I'm not sure how big of a blueprint I can make. I'm going to need to drag this guy all the way to the other side. Now I'm not going to go all the way because that is going to be too crazy. But I think somewhere with these trees down here, I can already make something fun. Just gonna drag it into the sky. Summon object in the selection a part of a weld and won't appear in your blueprint. Ooh, do I have weld stuff in here? Alright, so I saved this up and then when the time has come, I will show it to you in the editor. I just want to give you guys a little update on how the planting is going. And as you can see, it is going pretty well. It takes me a lot of time because I have to manually place each smaller tree and each different rainforest plant, since you cannot get that stuff from normal planting, I believe. If it's about those trees like this guy down here and that guy down here. But I'm enjoying myself. It is a lot of fun to just create tiny little pathways, look at different kind of views, and let me just give you a small little tour. So we have this pathway down here, which I was talking about, that people are like sneaky walking around here. At some point, I do want to place down some stepstones just to let people know at some point it is okay to sneak through here. Here's a little bit dirt here. The dirt will be less because it's more into the bush, and yeah, moss and grass and whatever not is covering the ground. As you can see, I've been going ham, and I also decided to place these guys around, and later on I will also plant some flower type of deal. I will show you in a minute which one I'm talking about. Now of course you need to keep in mind the beach still needs to be done, but that is for a beachy episode. Now people will be walking this trail. Sometimes there will be a vehicle going this trail, but once you go up you can see there is a lot of overgrown stuff. Now I've actually only done this side of this jungle. I still need to do that side, but I like to give an update when I have certain areas done. As you can see down here, I got a lot of dirt. A pathway going that way, which, you know, is more a known path to walk by. Yet, of course, a pathway that goes up to the replaced hut made by children. Now, slowly over time, I will also just dump down some of the coconut that has fallen out from the trees to just give a little extra dimension to things. And you just walk this trail. And then you come by this little hut right down here. So I decided to face the window that way. Have ducked out this a little bit. So you just go around and get in here and, you know, you just be the child that you are. There's some leftovers, I'll guess. And then back to this angle. This is how it looks from the roadside. And then you can go up. And it's pretty covered up right now, so the hut is still visible, but way lesser. And I just like the way how it's now off from the road. Positioned a little bit better. Also down here, I just kept this view also open. I found that very important for a nice sea view, as well as over here, which is this side. I tried to keep it a little bit open. Now I could remove those 2 palm trees right down there, but I don't want to have every spot too open. And so I have added some more bushes and small little trees. It is Thursday, so I have a little bit more time left in order to add the tree platform and the pathway and maybe a couple of other small little things. But let me just show you around of the part that I have been doing, which is on that side of the road. Just make sure that everything is nice, close, dense and filled up. And as you can see, I kept in mind to leave this here a little bit more open. And of course a lot more vegetation around in this area. Now I have to say the best thing about having plants, bushes, trees and whatever not on blueprints is that you can also place them if there are places with sand. And I will just show you that in a second. Okay, I'm not done this yet. As you can see, I got a little patch there at the water, but I need to keep in mind first to make a pathway and just see how I'm going to, you know, wave it around in this area up here, and then I can add some more vegetation there at the green part over there. But basically, this tree down here cannot be planted onto sand, but if you got it as a blueprint, you are free to go to place it there. I also got this guy here. I'm just trying to, you know, look where I could add a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Also down here, I placed a couple more plants, small little trees, and yeah, my game is, you know, starts to become here at this point a little laggy because it's loading out that side and it needs to load in that side. So for the future, I'm also going to keep things in mind to share stuff up a little bit more. But also right down here, I had some spots where I could plant some rainforest seeds and spots where I cannot. So I just placed a couple more things here and there. Also another tree right up there. I had to leave this empty because I'm going to need to make the pathway go up. And also here a lot more vegetations and stuff, all to fill out this area. I especially like this little plot down here. Maybe I'm going to try a little bit to keep just a little bit of pieces empty near the pathway on both sides to just create a little bit of separate little areas, which I also have like down here from the pathway, which I like a lot. And yeah, once again, it allowed me to place this plant down here if it's a blueprint. Down here a couple more things. And I also would like to show you how the view actually looks at this pathway down here when you walk like this. I mean, it's beautiful. I love it absolutely a lot. So yeah, long story short, I have a bit of time left to do the tree platform, the walkways, maybe a bit of a pathway, and then I really have to stop. Not only because slowly but surely I'm running out of time, but also I'm going to need to farm some more seeds for the other side because I'm really start to run out. Alright, now it's going to be time in order to make the walkway, the outpost, and all that good stuff into the trees. And I have to be honest, I forgot what I gave it for name. It looks like it is right down here. I hope everything is included. If not, then I'm going to have a big problem. But by the look of it, everything seems to be included, which is just perfect. This allows me to do what I want to do. Let's create a group out of it. So let's see. Now, I'm not planning on to make it too crazy, so I think the best thing to do is make that tree viewing platform right around this beautiful tree right down there, because the viewing area of the boars are right down here, which is also nice out of the way from the road, so you just have it right up here and you can still see what's going on down there. I am going to need to work slightly on an angle, but I guess that's going to be fine. So I guess the first thing that is going to need to happen is how big is this tree and or the character. So I'm just going to put myself like this, and then I have a good idea that this would be high enough. I think this is perfect. All right, so now that I got an idea of the height, I can make like a little feet down here which should grab onto the tree. Now these guys are a little bit too big for that. I want to see if I can get some smaller ones. Now the one thing I do notice about the editor is the 1x4 lock isn't actually in here, which is a little bit odd. So I think it's this guy. I am going to report it into the Discord though. Now I can set this up against the tree, but the tree will also move. So what I think the best thing to do is just have it a little bit into the tree. Also imagine that a piece has been cut out there so it just fits tightly around it, and then have also this guy right down here. Rotate it around and just play a little bit with it. So there is going to be a piece lower and there is going to be a piece higher. Also this one has been cut a little bit into the platform, and then we have a little bit of a base down here that I can also use with this guy. Now, of course, trees are moving in this game, so we're not gonna get like a super solid type of deal down here. We're just gonna try to match it up as much as possible, just like this. And then just on the eye, I'm just gonna aim it out towards the middle. And what I can also do is just switch to grid mode and then switch it to free place mode while I'm just, you know, keep holding this guy so these plus signs won't go away. And then you can also just kind of aim it out towards the middle and just store position. Then I'm going to take this block, rotate it, set store position, and then turn this guy on, that guy on. And on this way I got a little bit extra. I'm going to select the matchstick and then create the group and turn the angle snapper on. And you know what, maybe 15 would be nice. I'm just going to see. And then I just like to have it just like this. And then just create something like this. And then I'm just going to copy it again. Unselect one of these, break the group, and then add it to the group. And on this way, I can just give it a little test to see if this size would be fine. And then once again, try to aim it out just a little bit left and right. And this way, I'm having a little bit of start of a tree platform. Now, I can imagine that this is not going to be the best. So what I think end up doing here is just move that one log a little bit more forward, max it out for a bit, and then since we have a lot of space, I am going to make another section of this. Just gonna group it, then move this one down, something like right around here. Okay, what I can do later on is just grab a certain log. For example, this guy, of course, it needs to be a lot shorter. I can just create something like this in order to hold up more bits and pieces of this platform. Of course, aim it out like that, but just to give you an idea in order to make it look more supporty. Now you might say, JB, but how are you going to do that if you want to make it out of wood? Well, I have a little example here, and I'm going to show you in a second what I exactly did and what I'm going to do. But basically, yeah, I am having also a little issue with trying to make things look perfect, especially with bits and pieces that are not made in this game. To make stuff around, for example, like these planks, you can see if you would place planks like that and like that, you're going to have weird overlapping, you're going to have gaps. Of course, if you work with bits and pieces that do not have any, do not have any what? Let me just say rough shapes, like this plank has all kinds of gaps and it's not perfect. It's going to be a lot more easier, especially if you have bits and pieces that do not really make use of a texture, or better to say are textureless. Like that. And this is also a problem, like if I want things to have 100% perfect, then I should make the tree platform long enough so that these poles can be between in the poles, which at this moment is not going to work out. And now I can just drop this character and see, yeah, that is just high enough, so I don't have to lower the whole structure. But I guess it is okay to have this down here and that down here, just to make everything look secure. And what I'm now going to do is grab all of those, copy them, and then I'm going to move it right down here. And then of course, what I am going to do, and this is like the whole part what I just talked about, like I'm going to make choices. I'm just going to move this one downwards. I'll guess that is okay. And then I'm going to select all of these poles, and I'm also going to add them to this group. Now I can delete what I made earlier, so those blanks. Select this whole group. If I'm not wrong, I need to set this back to a 15. Then, so this guy is perfect, that guy ain't perfect. So I'm going to need to adjust certain bits and pieces. I need to delete this anyway, so I'm only needing the poles. And then I just need to take care that those three poles will fit perfectly against this wall. And if I then copy the whole show, it should all look a lot better. So let's see if I can do this. Now, yes, of course, I don't have a place yet for an entrance or in the other first 3 platform, an entrance and an exit, because I don't know yet where I need to build that. It looks tight, it looks solid. So this is what I'm going to work with right now. And I'm just now going to add in the supports, and then we're just going to place it and see how it looks like. Like this. Then I'm going to try to find the other one and then just delete it like that. Now we can just take a look on how it looks. Now you need to keep in mind it is not perfect, and then again the tree will move to the left and right, and I just wanted to keep it as woody as possible. In this case I can delete these guys because if I copy it I can just move it on the same height around it. Right, perfect. So what I would like to do now is give this a bit of random colors. Now the best way to actually do this, and I'm still not sure if I can do this in the edit mode or not. Let's check it out. Nope, I cannot do this in group mode, I wanted to say. I have to break the group. And then first of all, I'm going to turn this guy off. By the way, I'm using a custom tool which you can find in my Discord link in the description, and I'm going to make use of color A and B shading, which basically means I'm going to select this dark one and this light one, and while I have this selected I'm going to click on play, and then it just decides a random color for me based on those shades. Now of course, as you can see, I have all these between in bits and pieces. Now the reason why the between in pieces are not painted is because it's now on 0, which means it is set on slot 1. Scripting language start with 0, not with 1, so that's why it's 0. You have 0 to 2, which basically means slot 1 to 3. Can be confusing, but it's actually not. Right, so then I do this. No, you guys don't have a slot at all. It is slot 2, so why aren't you? That's because I haven't selected them. Okay, my mistake there. I'm gonna go once again to this stuff. Just keep in mind different locks won't be selected if you only select one type of lock. I can also see that these guys clearly have different color. This is something that I don't want, but then again, I could just go to the picker, pick this one and paint it like that. Not too much of a work. Just a little update down here. I have been busy with that stuff, not realizing that it's already 4:30 in the afternoon Friday, which basically means I am running out of time. The thing is, I don't want to rush it to have this video online already, so I'm going to continue this for the next episode, and then probably also we're going to push up stuff for the next episode. So my apologies for that. I promise a lot more, but you know, if I ran out of time, I run out of time. So what I've also been doing, just want to let you guys know that I have been readjusting some of these planks because it seemed like over here I couldn't really see it, but maybe see it a little bit that it's too messy out here, and I really noticed that after I gave it color, so I had to adjust some planks, so now it looks a lot better. I made this bridge here between in, which was very easy to do, and or I just took the same bridge, extended it with another part, which now I see like it is not completely aimed out. And like I said, I don't want to rush it because then things are going to turn ugly, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to spend some more time with this for the next episodes. Now besides, I wish you guys a very nice weekend. I have to announce, of course, tomorrow 8 p.m. CET I will be streaming again. We're first going to do the mini game show giveaway, and then after that we're going to build on some buildings onto the island, which is of course always a lot of fun. So yeah, alright, now let's just adjust this stuff. I don't want it to look messy after all of the work I've been Here's a little tip from Yo Has a Lego. Adjust a couple of poles here and there, and then make it look nice. Spend some good time on this. Oh, that looks a lot better already. Beautiful.